Okay, there we go. We're live. Okay, so you know, I think when we went off air with the last stream, and we talked about when we. I think what we talked about was maybe. I think what we talked about there was about some things related to our characters.
Yep.
So, where do you remember us leaving off? Because I'm old.
Uh, huh.
Yeah,
Basically,
don't
it's a.
remember.
Or I think it was all about how about our characters' backstories.
Uh, yeah.
And
Uh,
how they
yeah.
work.
Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. I guess the only question is if. Mm, I mean, I'm not too worried about this about discussing May's backstory right here because, like, I mean, you're. It's not like there's a whole lot of secrets to her. Secrets to her. I
Yep.
think. I mean, like, you're pretty. You might get a few glimpses into what it was like for her growing up, but more or less everything you're gonna see, everything you're go, more or less any, more or less everything you're gonna see in the first issue. Like, yeah, I mean, like that's pretty much the foundation there, right? Like, if I think you and Dan both told me I did a pretty good job of establishing what her character was within the first issue.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I had a talk with one of my friends about this. Like, he's of the opinion that unless the character's past is supposed to be a mystery, like, you should establish everything about them, like, right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't think our characters have anything very mysterious about them. There's no amnesia.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's going to
No,
be.
no dirty secret, no dark secret they need to keep hidden.
Nope. I mean, yeah, they could probably just. It'd probably be better for for our readers to figure out as they read the story, but nobody's going to realize that this. By the time that happens, we're going to have so many more of these streams that it'll get lost in the backlog.
I guess, but it's just more. Like I said, it's not like we have any as far. I mean, I know there's no big secrets to Maeve.
Yep. And hey, Blind Iris, how's it going with you?
Yep. Oh yeah. We're just, yeah. But yeah, there's no big secrets to Maeve. I know there's no big secrets to Althea, and unless Dan chimes in and says otherwise, I don't think there's any big secret to Adobe.
Yeah, and I think he's also said that there's no big secret towards her name either.
It's not because of Photoshop, guys.
Boy, was it awkward for her when she was going into learning about programming.
Yeah. Hmm.
And all I have to say right now, in terms of for Blind Arts, I can't wait for Imagine to come out.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting going with Kickstarter.
Yeah. That's kind
So
of what
many,
we've been leading up to for the past month.
yeah, so many people are. I'm not surprised that we got questions about why we're not going with Indiegogo. I think right now it's getting too cluttered on Indiegogo for any new campaign to have any real success.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that even with a previous success on Indiegogo, you're still going to be bogged down by the others.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't have you know what? I don't think I have a problem with showing this off right now. You gotta. Oh, I was gonna show Oath off the pinup that Victor sent.
That sounds good. Which one?
You know which one.
Trio.
Duh. Well, what else was I gonna show?
Well, there were a couple of May pinups that will be very cool for people to watch see.
Let's just say. Let's just say Changeling owes its existence to Rags in a whole lot of different ways. You said he drew. You look like It looks like Victor drew Althea to look a lot younger than she actually is.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, but I think when you, I think I'll have the Althea account say something along the lines of flattery gets you everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I decided to go this route just because, like, well, Leandro was doing something that was more of an action scene, and I kind of wanted to do something that was a little different. I have no idea what you're gonna have Beth do, or what she's gonna do.
I'm not sure just yet, but I think it's going to be something that'll happen after the comic's done, and it'll give me some time to think about what to commission her to do.
Yeah, good. Yeah, this is. I'm pretty sure, or you'll find something. And, it's kind of. And actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, you remember how Dan was saying that our covers were all thematically appropriate for. I mean, our
Yep.
covers were all thematically appropriate for our books.
Yep.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, we've both seen that action scene that Leandro put together. That makes sense for Adobe.
Oh yeah, she's sealed.
No, 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 not for the cover.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the pinup with all three of them.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the selfie Victor put together. That fit. It's Changeling.
Yep.
So I'm guessing whatever you or Beth come up with, it'll fit Mythics.
Yeah. It's going to be. I think it's going to look really cool because, yes, maybe team roles.
Wait, what?
They do something along the lines of having them in team roles.
Oh yeah.
But
That'll probably look cool.
yep.
But I think one thing we've definitely got is we definitely have our fingers on the pulse of what makes these books good. Like we all understand, and their little character.
Yep. We've what our what we're going to be doing is all character based. So
I'm not just talking about the characters of the characters. I'm talking about the characters of the books too. Like there's, I guess, like I mean, Changeling feels distinct from Adobe Kroger, feels distinct from Mythics. Like there's
they're all
they've got little things to them that make them feel distinct from one another.
Yep, they're separate but equal in a way.
You realize what you just.
Yeah.
You should feel lucky Brian's not in here.
Well, not in. I don't know where you're getting that idea from.
You said separate but equal.
Yeah, in terms of the story, the characters, the setting.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Good thing. Oh, there's 3 people
Brian,
watching.
Being around Brian has warped me a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. But then again, I think he's pretty much warped us both.
Bro.
I mean, you remember how we were going at Sane a while back? Basically, with the whole, I know, we'll do our first books, and then we'll cancel them just to make Sane suffer.
Oh my god. That would have been funny. That would have been funny.
And Sane's response was, I see you've been learning from Brian. I hate you all.
Oh my god. Remember that profile pic he had done by Sashi?
I think so.
That would have made such a perfect crying Wojak meme. Like, it's got Shane's face plastered on a crying Wojak. Like he's trying to act like he's still an obnoxious goof, but deep down inside he's crying.
Yep. There are times where I think that we probably go too far. Just a little.
I mean, I definitely gave him an existential crisis when we found out how much he and I looked alike.
Oh god.
Like he did not know what to think.
Thank God you guys don't sound alike.
Yeah, that would have been really weird.
I'd have to ask. Okay, Brett. Which one of you is real?
Yeah. Now compared to that, to how I introduced Lenore and Vamp to each other.
Yep.
Actually, well, in that case, I think they just took the ball and ran with it.
As they would.
Yeah.
Also, what if, for anyone who's listening and who knows who Lenore is, so he's going to have a character in Mythics issue 2. So if this is successful, it'll go on to. Actually, you know what? If you guys go and get enough people to fund to get us up to maybe $35,000, we'll all do our entire series.
Yeah, yes. Get us to 35,000 so we can at least get the first so we can at least get the first volume done.
And Blind Artist says if we want to eventually add a new artist to create characters for Mythoverse, I'd have to say, what do you think, Brett?
We'd like to get to that point at some. Like to get to that
Yeah.
point. I mean, right now we're even testing out some new possible talent. So yeah.
Yeah,
Let's. It's like they say in WWE: never say never.
yeah. If you want to create your own character and your own Mythoverse series, we'd probably be able to sneak them into a comic as a preview. Who knows?
Yeah. Another thing I remember we talked about like last night. Just want to know if you gave it any extra thought. I mean, like we're thinking about. I mean, we have kind of kicked around the idea of that. Kicked around the idea that after we get to the first volumes of our respective books, that we do that crossover event. Hopefully, canonizing that image that Luigi made.
Of course.
You know, I personally am very partial to the idea that if we do that, we should just do the whole thing as one entire graphic novel. Just publish the whole thing. Publish the whole thing, just one giant sized book. Like it's like I don't know, like what's the size of a when you take it all together, like how many pages of comic do you have with Civil War? Not counting all the tie-ins, just the main series.
How
many issues did Civil War run for?
I'm gonna look it up because it sounds like it'd be a very long comic. Because I think each issue was about
22 pages.
33 pages.
Really?
Yeah. 30-something pages. It was an event comic.
No, I don't want Captain America Civil War. I want the comic. Here we are. I was looking through it. Okay, so unfortunately, the event page on Wikipedia lists all the tie-ins.
Yep. So you're gonna want to go to Amazon like I am.
No, wait, I found it. Civil War ran for 7 issues. Okay, so 7 issues, and like, did you say like each issue was like 30 pages?
Yeah, it says for the book it's 208 pages.
We might not. Okay, so we might not go that high. But still, yeah. I'd rather, even if we did go that high. Huh. Yeah. Even if we did go that high, though, I mean, like, I think I like the idea of dropping an entire event in one graphic novel than just spreading it out over 7 issues.
Yeah. Let's see here.
By the way, Steve, I'm glad you like my werewolf videos and that you're working on your own campaign. That's awesome. Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. But yeah, like I mean, seriously, name another company that would do that. Just give them the entire event right up front. Because I don't know, stretching it across issues just seems like you're milking it to me.
Yep. It's
especially when considering like when you Like, what does the Civil War trade paperback go for? Like new.
You, I'd have to say it's okay. So print list price is $25.
Now compare that to buying all the individual issues. Like
Think that
they were like what, $2.99?
think so.
Dude, I mean that's putting it in just publishing the entire thing as a complete package. That's actually cheaper to the consumer than, I mean, seriously, just publish it. I mean, doing it, stretching it, like chopping it up into issues, and you are essentially just milking the customers at that point.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, in with a company like Marvel or DC, they're going to be doing individual issues first because that's what
Well, that's how
they're
they do.
known for. That's
Because
what
they've
they've
always
always
done it
done.
that way.
Yep.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I kind of like the doing like us doing it a Mythoverse event as one complete book and just giving it right to the readers right up front. It's a lot cheaper.
Yep. And wow, I found the Civil War box set, and the number of pages is 4,120.
Well, duh, if you include all the tie-ins, it's obscene.
Yep. But that's how they make money. And that's something that has to be done to
Quote
keep in
unquote
business.
how they make money because I don't think people buy those tie-ins like they as much as they think.
I think with Civil War, it was one of the last ones where they really needed to. There were some good tie-ins that were able to reflect how the characters felt.
Well, yeah, I mean, like in the X-Men, it kind of caused a divide because Bishop actually thought that the registration was a good idea. Wolverine didn't. It
And
definitely the Registration Act almost destroyed Reed and Sue's marriage,
yep, basically a
and
tie-in. Go
and
on.
and not only that, I mean it completely upended Peter Parker's life.
Yeah, the tie-ins, while people ridicule them, are a way to expand upon the story with other characters.
And supposedly, although like I said, like I would say, but the only one that was like really pointless was the Punisher. Just tie-in.
Yep.
Like everything about I don't know. I read the Punisher's tie-in with Civil War. It just nothing about it really made sense to me. Like it was a typical Punisher storyline. He was barely involved with anything related to the Registration Act up until the end where he found on Spider-Man.
Well, he did join, I mean, Captain America's group for a while, and then he was kicked out for murdering some supervillains who were trying to
Yeah.
join up with them. And then he was beaten up by Cap because Cap doesn't like murder.
Yep. Oh, fuck! Even Wolverine's tie-in had purpose to it too. I mean, he was hunting down Nuke. No, it wasn't Nuke. It was Nitro.
Yep.
Different character. A mutant that explodes.
And killed all those kids.
Yeah. And dude, oh, I even remember like even the Thunderbolts. Like the Thunderbolts tie-in even made sense too, because like they're a group of superheroes that are former supervillains. Of course, of course, this is gonna be bad for them. And I will say the Young Avengers Runaways crossover tie-in was a little bit forced just because of how far removed they were from it all.
Yeah.
Like they were not involved in anything that happened with the main storyline at all. Like their little thing was dealing with dealing with an escapee from the cube. That was frankly kind of a, like I said, that some of them had purpose had reason to exist because they did sort of add different dimensions to the larger event, and you did see the effect it was taking on other characters.
I think the most relevant would have to be Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man.
Not just that, like I said, there was also X-Men. There was also Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts to a lesser extent.
Yeah, though, I think if they didn't have the Spider-Man tie-in, that would have made Spider-Man's turn seem more forced in a way.
Yeah.
And unlike with Captain America Civil War, the comic book incarnations, they both had a long friendship that was being destroyed by this.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I mean, the core characters are the ones who are going to be affected the most by an event like Civil War.
Well, duh. Of course they would.
Yep. Looks like you inspired a podcast campaign.
Kind of. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. All right, so okay, but yeah, okay, so Civil War had a whole bunch of tie-ins, but you know what? It at least kind of with what was going on in the main series, it sort of made sense.
Yep.
And it was probably one of the last times that it actually felt like an event mattered.
Yeah. See,
now they just become so routine and boring.
Yeah, I think the last time there was actually a actual epic moment would be during the Fear Itself event, where you have the world being invaded by the North Serpent and an army of Nazis. Captain America makes a stand without a shield, with just a rifle in hand, ready to go down with a fight. And then he finds Mjolnir, which, as everyone knows, only the worthy can wield Mjolnir. And there was that splash page, probably the last splash page that ever mattered for a Marvel comic, where you see Captain America raising Mjolnir, going, "Avengers assembled," as lightning strikes the hammer.
Yeah. About the I did not read Fear Itself, but I really hated how it took the Juggernaut out of the Thunderbolt series.
Yeah. And there was a lot of consequences from that.
It also kind of took Skull Crossbones out of the group too.
Yeah, but what can you do? They wanted to do something different.
I know, but I kind of liked what they were doing with that series, like that they had Luke Cage leading it, but they also had the They had Beetle. They had the Beetle. Fuck. And that would be a tin. That would be a pot can. Okay, so
Yep.
they had Beetle. They had Fixer, and they had Songbird as their handlers. And I think, if I remember correctly, the group was made up of Moonstone, the Ghost, Crossbones, Juggernaut, and they also ended up adding Man Thing, Satana. Like there were like, and the whole idea was that it was like Suicide Squad, but without them running suicide missions.
Which is basically what you do with such characters.
Well, the thing is that they were kind of using the Thunderbolts program as more like a supervillain rehabilitation program.
Yep.
Yeah, there's Duskwill.
Hey, Duskwill. Oh wow. So Andy Levy just tweeted, "These 5 jobs I've had." Tweets are a great look at me of people trying to let everyone know they're not privileged.
Yeah, bring it. But yeah, I think I think I would rather just us tell the whole, tell one self-contained story with the Mythoverse event, and just publish it all as one package.
Yeah, we can do that because we got a small enough cast. And great news with Duskwill, that he's almost done with school.
Fucking yay.
Almost free.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's the whole nightmare of looking for a job.
Mm-hmm. That's always fun. But yeah, like I said, yeah, we've got to. So you think it would work? So you think us doing the whole thing as it works just because we've only got three leads right now?
Yep, and it's going to be a lot of fun writing them.
Well, okay, so yeah, like the first time that so for that it makes like publishing it all as one complete package, sure, because we've got a small cast. Now let's just say we add more, let's just say the leads double within say come end of phase 2.
I think that for the most part, we'd probably be able to get away with just them having their own series each.
I mean, I know this is shit that's so far down the pipeline. I know this is shit that's like super far down the pipeline, but it's like something I like to think about just so I know like there's a plan.
Yeah, but sometimes it's probably just as much fun to wing it.
I know. Could just still let me put it this way, could you still tell a self-contained story with 6 main characters?
Yeah. I think what's going on with Marvel, the MCU, that's like a real game changer because they're able to do a massive cast for Infinity War and Endgame simply because they've had those characters had movies beforehand for people to get to know them.
There's about 10 years worth of movies to watch, so that So of
And-
course, it basically assumes that you've seen all the movies already.
Yep, and Duskwell, if we don't answer immediately, it just shows you how nervous we are about the quick Kickstarter.
I'm not. Well, but maybe a little bit.
I know we're going to make it where we're not going through using a platform that's being used on a as frequent of a basis as it's not an overtext platform like Indiegogo is right now.
Yeah, that's the big problem with Indiegogo is it's just it's just too crowded.
I mean, I would have thought that the Ferryman would have been funded by now.
Yeah, it's kind of better. And the thing with Kickstarter is you got people who are the thing that's good about Kickstarter is that they just have better foot traffic.
Yeah, it's also got the name that brings recognition for our general audience. I mean, it's a great name, Kickstarter.
Yeah, it just says everything about it. And it's good branding for one.
Yep. And Indiegogo is doing really well for itself as well. It's just that I think it's probably better off for movies and other projects. After all, that's what they were known for a time because Rooster Teeth had Laser Team, which made the first record with millions coming in, and then it was overtaken by Super Troopers 2.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Victor just sent me something over Discord. So tonight he's gonna be working. Okay, so okay, no one else has only Matt, Dan, and Lenore have seen this, but I had Victor do a cosplay pinup of Maeve as Cutie Honey, which is gonna be a little bit altered, but it's not the only one. I also suggested that he do Ryuko from Kill la Kill.
You know, you're going into all this fan service territory that might be.
It's not what you think.
Yeah, but you know that's what those shows are. That's what that show is well known for. I mean, there's a group called Nudist Beach.
Yeah, but it's her. It's her wearing the uniform like it's like an actual school uniform. Like that one's tame.
Yep.
That's a kind of a. Believe me, I can't do with Maeve what Brian did with Regina.
No, you cannot.
Nor would I want to.
Nope.
I think the next one I'll have him do is a Link cosplay.
Jeez.
Hey, people would eat that up.
Yep.
I think I actually talked with Victor about him I think Victor actually suggested like doing Dark Link.
Wow.
Well, I mean the color scheme more. You can kind of see with the color scheme though.
Oh yeah. it's well, tomorrow is gonna be a really big day, though.
Mhm. Okay, here's something. Okay, so apparently the thing in Heroes in Crisis 8 is Wally West is the killer. He had a mental breakdown and murdered a bunch of heroes. He used his speed and forensic knowledge to cover it up and framed Booster and Harley.
Okay.
Why?
That's really what they're going with?
More like that's what Tom King is going with? You know, I have to wonder, though. If Tom King... I have to wonder, though.
Huh.
If Zach's theory about Tom King using Heroes in Crisis to... If Zach's theory about Tom King using Heroes in Crisis as some kind of therapy is true, and that kind of makes you wonder what under.
Yeah.
But then again, I do not want to imagine that Tom King is somehow threatening to anybody because, like, I found out that the guy's job at the CIA was basically being the IT guy.
Honestly, I honestly don't like making any kind of theory about someone.
Me neither.
I've I've pretty much stopped watching his videos now because there are some things that I just find questionable nowadays.
Mm. Yeah, don't want to know. We don't need Tom King taking over our stream anyway.
Yeah, we really don't need to have the whole shit show with the big two taking up stream either.
No, we don't. So, yeah, some. I think I remember back a little while ago you tried doing a cosplay pinup with Althea as a Witcher.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think I even suggested you try on your hand at me. Oh, I don't know, but one of these might be good. Dusk will link to pick from Persona 5. That the fun the problem is I don't know shit about Persona 5. So I don't know which
Yeah.
one would fit. It's like I kind of want if I'm going to do this stuff, I kind of want it to sort of fit the character in a way, or at least kind of look cute. I mean, let me put it okay. The reason why I went with Kill la Kill and Cutie Honey is because they're both kind of magical girl animes. And even though I will swear up and down, that there's a, even though I swear up and down that I don't really consider magical girl animes to have influenced Changeling, they kind of are there.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of hard not to see it. As fucked up as it would be considering the subject, I wouldn't mind seeing my characters done as JoJo characters. Really.
Hmm.
Don't need to take any of their actual costumes, but have a thief costume inspired by the designs here and have Morgana in there with her. Or kept it looks like Morgana.
Yeah.
You're talking to someone who you're. That's a problem. This is a problem, Dusquill. I did not play Persona 5, so I'm completely lost. Yeah. But yeah, like I guess I would be remiss in saying that Changeling does, and not saying that Changeling owes its existence to, and not admitting that Changeling kind of owes its existence to Magical Girl anime to an extent.
Yeah.
Like again, which is funny to me because I don't think I really watched any. I mean, to really, at least none that I can't think of one that made enough of an impact on me to say I want to incorporate this into Changeling. This is more. It's like I said. I feel like it's got more in common with Bleach or Fully Cooley than say Sailor Moon.
That's very true. Because I think that those I think that those were the shows that inspired you altogether.
Say what?
I think those would be the shows that would have inspired you altogether. For
I mean, like it could. Well, I mean, like Sailor Moon could have inspired me, but when it came out, I just didn't want to watch it because to me it looked like a girls' show, which it is.
Yep. Now I can't wait for the angry protests to come in.
Look, it's not. Hey, me saying that. Hey, that Sailor Moon is a girls' show does not mean I think it's bad. Just that it didn't appeal to me because I was like 10 years. I think I was like 10 years old when it aired on Toonami. Like I was between 8 or 10, and I saw it, and it just did not look like something that would have appealed to me.
No, it really went.
I mean, I know. I mean, now, in fairness, I do know guys who did grow up watching Sailor Moon, and they liked it. And I'm not gonna judge people for what they like.
Nope. There are some people who like what they like.
Yeah. Yeah. Dusko says I probably would liked it if I'd saw it playing because I used to watch Powerpuff Girls when I was a kid.
Again, no judgments.
I think Powerpuff Girls was a good enough show that it could get past being a girl centered show.
Yeah, there are shows that can make it that can cross the gender and age gap.
Let me put it this way: I watched episodes of My Little Pony, and even though I would not count myself among its fans. I can at least see that it has merit, and that it's a good cartoon. It's a really good kids show. Better than it has any right to be, in fact. And I can see how it sort of is. It's well written enough that even, frankly, adult men can enjoy it.
I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, also I think Lauren Faust worked on both shows. My favorite episode is still the episode dedicated entirely to making Beatles references. There was a time when My Little Pony was like the only decent cartoon on TV at that time. I would say it still kind of is.
What year did Transformers Prime come out on? Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
I think Transformers Prime was 2012, 2013.
I forgot. I'm looking it up. 2010.
Okay,
Last
2010.
episode aired 2013.
Okay.
Actually, it was a pretty. Yeah, it was actually pretty good, actually.
Mm-hmm. It was the first series to have Pierre Cullen back as Optimus Prime.
That's true.
And
It was
Rayun from Deep Space Nine was Ratchet.
You mean Jeffrey Combs?
Yep.
Also, the first episode had The Rock as Cliff Jumper.
Yeah.
I kind of have to. There's something kind of. Do you want to know why that is such a good casting?
Why?
Well, Cliff Jumper has bullhorns.
Yeah.
And one of the Rock's nicknames was the Brahma Bull. Even has a tattoo. Yeah, even had a tattoo of it on his arm back in the day. I think he still has it. Does he?
Maybe.
I think he still has that tattoo.
Wow.
Problem is, yeah, I can't. I think he's. Looks like it. Okay, more like he used to have it. No, wait, yeah. I think he still has. Nope. He posted some on Instagram. He replaced it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And of course, he said in that episode, mess with the ball, you get the horn.
Of course, he ends up dying.
I know.
Because what?
I honestly would have liked him to at least get a. Do you smell what the bot is cooking? Like, seriously, that was a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't care if it's corny. It's Transformers. They can get away with that. Just Transformers just has to be. Shit just has to be cool. It doesn't have to be good.
Yeah, that's why they were able to get away with so many movies.
Oh yeah, did I tell you John Delancey was in My Little Pony?
Yep.
Yeah, John Delancey as Discord is him basically playing a more goofy version of Q.
Oh yeah, and Transformers Prime had some other big names, such as Michael Ironside as Ultra Magnus,
Yeah.
Simon Bloom as Starscream.
Yes, I know. I remember that. Also had Adam Baldwin in there too, and like.
Yep. Breakdown.
Yeah, and there was also
Tony Todd.
yes, and there was also Nolan North.
Yep. It's interesting how many big names are in there.
Are we considering Sumali Montano on a big name?
Let's see.
Well, to be fair, Simile Montana does have a pretty extensive body of work.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's a lot. She has a lot of work attached to her.
Hmm. If you're gonna try doing another cosplay pinup for Althea, what would you go with?
Hmm. Not sure right now. Probably maybe do something like a crossover pinup of her and Adobe as Sherlock and Watson.
You still get you still owe us John Constantine.
True. which Dusk will point out too.
I know. Oh, I know.
Well, I'm sure Beth will be more than happy to do that because that's what she thought of initially first. Well,
Exactly.
huh.
Oh, this is funny.
What?
Babylon Bee just put out a really funny infograph.
Oh boy.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna share this. This is funny. Christian, Easter worshiper, Hindu, cow avoider, Muslim, hummus enjoyer, Buddhist, Nirvana fan, Wiccan, hot topic shopper, Jew, tiny hat wearer, Mormon, polite bike rider, atheist, teenager, Jehovah's Witnesses, like Mormons but on foot, Satanist, dungeon master, CrossFitter, fanatical fitness evangelizer.
Oh boy.
I love that it calls Wiccans hot topic shoppers. Oh, wait, I forgot. It also has Scientologist, removed by our lawyers.
Well, they'll sue the fuck out of you.
Oh. Duskwill also suggested Edward Pierce from Call of Cthulhu. I don't
Don't know who he is, but I'll look him up.
You could probably do something like with Doctor Strange too.
Yeah. Although I kind of shudder at the thought because someone will probably call for her to become the female Doctor Strange.
Well, you'll just tell them, sorry, it's not that kind of book.
Nope. She's more like female Constantine, except better manners.
Yeah. I think something that a lot of people have written Constantine, like especially recently, like it's with Justice League Dark Constantine and shit like that. Here's the thing
Yeah.
about John. John is capable of doing good, but he's not a good man.
Huh. Yeah.
But he's not a bad man either. John Constantine is about as much of a true neutral as you can get. He's not on any. He is, maybe more of a lawful neutral.
Yeah. I can actually see that, especially the fact that he's been willing to do things for the greater good at times. Although that usually meant that someone would have to push them into it.
Yeah. Duskwell says Cole Phelps from LA Noire and Nick Valentine from Fallout 4. A lot of detectives.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Actually, here's one for you. Would you be willing to do Hermione?
I'll think about it. I'm putting all the and that's why I'm putting us all on a list.
I don't know. Playing around with Harry Potter might be interesting.
Yeah, but I'm not exactly certain if I want to touch that because that would mean that one of her ancestors would sit in the middle of a hallway and then magic away.
Duskwell says could do a classic and be Nancy Drew.
Yeah,
That would have to be like 12-year-old Althea.
yeah.
But then again, I think Luigi also did a pickup for Regina where he aged her down.
He's done that. It's been done before. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun and also hectic.
I am disappointed that Lenore tagging Blake Northcott got us nothing.
Well, to be fair, Blake Northcott is busy. See me.
He never notices. Yes, I want to. Yes, I am. I'm doing the whole. I am doing the notice me senpai thing, and I don't care.
Well, Up Nice Nerd Rage retweeted the Mythoverse launch.
Oh yeah.
And Marmaduke liked it. I'm pretty sure soon he'll retweet.
Yeah. I think we've kind of moved past that now, Duskwell. Okay, so do Lara Croft, Ellen Ripley, Xena. Yeah, that's stuff that would work better for Adobe.
Well, Ellen Ripley could work because she used her brain in the first one.
Sure. But I would definitely, but Lara Croft and Xena, yeah, that's more Adobe. That definitely works more for Adobe.
True. And yeah, strategic fighters do work.
Yeah, but no, just like
I mean, Adobe.
Say what?
Basically, Althea is a strategic fighter, while Adobe is more of the hammer. Very unsubtle.
Honestly, if Dan's got any, Dan better get Adobe dressed up like an Imperial Inquisitor at some point. All I'm saying.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, I know he didn't get. I know that's not where he got it from.
Yeah.
I know that's not where he got it from, but there's just so many parallels between the Order of the Carolingian Cross and the Inquisition.
Yeah.
Although the only difference is the paladins can't call down an exterminatus.
Well, who knows?
You do know, and you do know an exterminatus is just honest is basically killing a planet, right?
Yeah, but you never know. That was kind of the basis of the plot behind Adobe Kroger Knight Errant.
That is true. But she was trying to prevent that from happening.
Yeah. That was one of the paladins trying to do that.
Exterminatus the planet.
It's funny how that works, though.
That's a Black Templar's dust quill. Black Templars are space marines. The Inquisition. Although I mean the Inquisition does have their own chapter. They have the Grey Knights.
Yep.
I posted that before the joke. And would Adobe be with the Black Templars? No, Adobe's no. Adobe's just get more. Put Adobe with Adobe. Adobe would more be Inquisition, because that's what the Paladins essentially are. They're the Inquisition. I think we even discussed this with Dan that they were all behind all that shit with the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I think we even discussed with Dan that they even burned actual witches.
Yeah.
So sterilization camps it is. They do that. Yeah. I mean, I think some people kind of give the Inquisition. I honestly think some people give the Inquisition a bad rap. I mean, you can not agree with their You don't have to agree with their methods, but
That's true. That is very true.
but when you're fighting against chaos, I don't think they really have the luxury of being nice.
No, not really.
I mean, you never know. You never know where chaos is trying to creep in, so they just can't afford to take chances. So if about the only way they can So if the only way they can protect the Imperium is by exterminating a planet, well, they'll have to do it.
Yep.
And that's kind of something that I sort of appreciate that Dan and does with the Paladins. Like, you understand, like, the Paladins have a good reason to do what they do.
It's just the ultimate part of power is that it sometimes just corrupts.
Well, it's more like, well, not just that. It's just when you're a hammer, every problem ends up looking like a nail.
Yep.
This one child just accidentally summoned a demon due to uncontrolled psycho abilities, tend to wipe out the entire populace of. Like I said, you can't really take chance. It's not like that. Like, how many planets are in the Imperium again, Duskwill? Like there's. Check. There's like a. It's not like much as it. In fact, I even think the most conservative estimates of the entire Imperium's population is like somewhere in the high trillions too.
Which is funny because that's the most accurate it'd be in science fiction.
Yeah.
Colonized.
The Imperium of Man has over a million human settled planets.
I think, although I'd have to say that the populations would be much higher than that, probably quadrillions.
Yeah. Millions, but they have pretty shit in replenishment of fleet due to lack of tech to properly make warships. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, it's not like I can't really say they're hurting for resources that badly. And actually, if you look at the big picture, like if you look at the Imperium of Man article on 1D4chan, it kind of points out they kind of point out something that a lot of 40K fans overlook, that because so much of the fiction focuses on planets ravaged by war or shit or the like, they kind of tend to overlook that isn't exactly the norm. Like,
pretty much.
Let me put it this way: Cadia is shit. Catachin is shit. Armageddon is shit. But there are just as many planets that are well off, where the populace is well taken care of. Actually, I don't think Cadia is much shit anymore now that after Abaddon brought the Blackstone Fortress onto it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just. But yeah, to say that planets like Cadia are the norm for the Imperium, that's not accurate at all.
Nope. Okay, so basically, I just did the math on how many and what the population would be like in the Imperium. Let's just say that there's no number to say how many there are.
Like I said, the most conservative estimates place it in the high trillions.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, if it's a million planets are in the Imperium, and you've got just assume that even if like I said, assume just the average population of every planet is like, say, 6 billion, which is how many people are on the Earth right now.
That'll just
yeah.
Boom.
But then again, the thing about Warhammer is it was never about making sense. It was all about spectacle.
Yep.
Yeah, because honestly, so once you kind of take a look at some of the details they post about the setting and stuff, a lot of it you realize it really doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
I think we all could just use a little love from Grandpa Nurgle. Right now, Weaponized Nerd Rage is very familiar with Nurgle's form of love.
It feels pretty bad. I feel kind of bad for him because he can't cover the Jussie Smollett show right now.
It's almost like it was timed.
Yes. Especially with Smollett's lawyer getting sued. It's a bad time to be Jussie Smollett.
Well, shit, it's... Can you imagine what the Imperium would be like if Magnus didn't give the Emperor an interdimensional aneurysm and unleashed demon diarrhea onto the galaxy and finished the webway of man? Problem was at around the same time Horus was having his little heresy. So yeah. Okay, look, Magnus should not have tried doing what he did. That was the wrong call, but yeah.
Yep.
Not like that matters now. Bring it back to our shit. Yeah. I think it was over in Lenore's Discord where we were talking with Dylan Fagan. And he said, like, characters aging up is not really the norm in comic books. Well, at least Western comic books. Which kind of shocked me because I thought to myself, well, how else? Like, you can't just keep teenage characters perpetually young forever, and pretty much every teenage character I've followed has grown up and has gotten older. Like Spider-Man got older, X-23 got older.
Yeah. Yep. They always have to get older, otherwise they don't. There's nothing good that comes from it if they stay the same all the time.
Yeah, but like what he said was like unless they're Bendis, they don't really grow up. Like writers don't let the characters grow up.
Yeah.
We know you're talking about Batman Beyond, Duskwell. I don't know. It just seems like something. I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of things that I'm doing that just seem like they should be common sense, that for some reason mainstream comics aren't doing.
And that's because so many of the mainstream comic characters are legacy characters that hit the reset button. Every time you have a different writer and their run on a character, they hit the good old reset button so that everything goes back to the way things were. The most infamous version of that would be the most infamous one was One More Day.
Uh-huh.
or if they're a creator-owned comic, normally they don't have the staying power that would allow them to tell that kind of story for their character.
You know, just like I don't know. I guess, yeah, but still, I mean, like, this just seems, like I said, it just feels like that would be common sense to me. Like, why not let your characters get older? I mean, because
Oh, that's Quill.
otherwise it just kind of feels like the only like characters seem to stop aging once they hit their 30s.
Yep. But it's one of those things that editors do because they know they'll never. I feel like they'll never make a profit if they don't have the characters stay the same. They'll run into this whole issue with time, where the character is getting older, and the audience feels like they don't want to see the old man version of the character.
Unless they're milking it for a gimmick like with all the old man books Marvel puts out.
You can blame that one on Mark Millar.
That's not his fault. It's not his fault he made a really
Old
good.
Man Logan.
I know, but it's not. You can't. I'm not holding him responsible for that. How is he supposed to know that Marvel would milk it into a gimmick?
I think the only reason why they decided to milk it as a gimmick is because of Logan. They saw that everyone says that it's such a good movie, and they're going to milk it for all they've got, such as they are going to be doing Old Man Logan comics. They're going to do Old Man Quill. DC's doing Old Lady Harley.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that they don't understand.
Yeah. Here's here's the thing. Actually, Duskull makes an interesting point. I think a lot of people would love to see their favorite heroes take on a mentor role as they teach or replace and just add new dynamics to a character.
In a way, that's what I think Matt Fraction was trying to do with the Hawkeye series, was that it was going to be a more of a training for Kate Bishop to be the new Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
But problem was that there wasn't much of that, and basically then they got some pretty bad writers in after he got bored of the run, because I got so annoyed with the wait time on each issue for that series that I never picked up that last volume.
I don't know, kind of makes it sound like it kind of makes it sound like Matt Fraction just kind of ran out of ideas really quickly.
Huh. Yeah, but that honestly, I think Young Adventures would have been much more interesting if they had brought in the Avengers in to to train them rather than try to push them away. But then again, it kind of feels like that Captain America would be the kind of guy to say, "No, this is too dangerous. Go home."
Yeah. I mean, fuck. I mean, at least that was the dynamic the X-Men had going for them. I mean, like that was the whole
Yep.
conceit of the New Mutants, basically.
And something I have to say that, oh boy, imagine Captain America running the next generation of heroes through some combat drills.
Huh.
I kind of feel like they'd probably drop dead with this current generation. Especially the ones that Marvel's putting out now.
Definitely, but yeah, but I mean, just think about that. I mean, like they had that dynamic. They had that dynamic going though. Like I said, X-Men was doing that for a while.
Yeah. And they had Avengers Academy.
Yeah. I think X-Men's kind of forgotten that. They seem to focus because they'll get around this. They're a little bit too focused on mutant rights.
Yep.
And like how metaphor for racism.
It's gonna be. Let's try not to have any of that in the Mythoverse.
Well, why would we? It's just like
because they have that kind of. They're already doing that with other groups.
I said, why would we?
What?
I mean, fuck, we're probably gonna take heat for it anyway, considering that all. We're probably gonna take heat for it anyway, considering that. Let's be honest, Adobe and Althea, and especially Maeve. As far as I can tell, all three of them are white.
Well, you know something? I can tell you one thing.
But
I don't give a damn.
I don't either, and just say it's probably gonna happen anyway.
Yeah. Well, they can make their own stuff.
I know.
Yeah, they feel like
Hell,
putting their money where their mouth is.
We'll probably even take heat for making them attractive too.
Yeah. All I have to say is that if they want to put their money where their mouth is, they'll submit what they want to do with us.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, there are things that they'll do that we'll not like, but the challenge is out there.
Yeah.
But then again, I think that we're going to be so small time for quite some time that I think that we'll probably not get get that kind of stuff for a long time.
It'll probably be when I'm like in my 40s or something, and they look back and say, Brett Mc. Sure, we love Brett McGowan's work, but it's also very problematic.
Yep, and then we go, yeah, well, go kick rocks.
Yeah.
You know, there are times where I think that Rage just is trying to kill himself as quickly as possible.
Why would you say that?
That was last tweet because he just ate a jar of minced garlic and drank hot sauce.
He thought, well, he thought it would cure his flu. He was wrong. He is trying so desperately to make that Avengers Endgame premiere. I gotta tell him this is probably maybe you need to look at this as a blessing in disguise. Maybe you've been spared something.
Perhaps. But from what I've seen, there's been nothing but good reviews so far.
I guess.
You know, I'm honestly, I think it might be problematic because Alfie and Adobe are wearing bikinis in a art piece.
That is true.
I think I'm definitely gonna make that canon for Althea that she wears a bikini because she's a strong, confident woman.
Why not? Especially if we're gonna, especially when we throw in Regina and shit, and it's just basically being competitive about who has the better bikini bod.
Well, we all know that's gonna be. We all know it's gonna be Regina.
Yeah. Great stream. Gotta go stay for a few more minutes and then head to bed. Finals are gonna fry my brains. Been there, done that. Dusquill. I will never go back.
Yeah, same. But you have a good time with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun with all that, but you're gonna be done with it soon.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, but good night, Dusquill. And we start tomorrow at 9 p.m. with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Funniest thing is that a lot of Rooster Teeth's employees and about half the founders never went to college.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't actually, yeah, wouldn't even surprise me if one or two of them are college dropouts.
Well, Gus Roll is a college dropout. And I think Jeff is a college dropout too.
Why am I not surprised that Gus dropped out of college?
He said it was boring, and so he dropped out.
Gus is basically Brian if he was Hispanic.
Yeah, but there are times, with Jeff, there are times where he's so much of a troll that they seem like a perfect fit.
Isn't one of them like a really successful stocks investor? I think that's Joel.
No, Joel's not. Joel's an actor. He was actually a pretty successful actor because he never had to maintain a job to keep his rent.
I think I remember him having like a bit part on like a CBS show once.
He had a lot of bit parts. He'd be called on to be a waiter or something, or be background guy on an airplane for an episode of Friends. but he is very interested in financial stuff. He's called a lot of the things that's happened. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rooster Teeth never happened, he'd probably go into stocks.
You're thinking of a
He'd become an
stockbroker.
investor.
You're thinking of a
Yeah,
stockbroker. Dude, you're thinking of a stockbroker. He said stock investor.
Oh yeah, stock investor. No, either way, Joel would do anything for money. All right, Dusquill.
Yeah, no, buddy. But yeah.
Monty Ohm never finished high school.
No, he's a. He went so what he dropped out of high school. Wow.
Yeah. He was only when he became famous for Haloid, he was working at Office Depot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just kind of sucks what happened to him though.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. When you get a big fan following, you're gonna have people who will believe in crazy conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and yes, like what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that Bernie has suggested to his employees is that if you're dating someone, if you guys break up, if you're well known and you guys break up, you're going to have to make a statement about it because people are going to ask questions about they're going to be incredibly nosy about it because when Bernie ended up divorcing his wife, they assumed that there was nothing about it. It was just a quiet divorce. He never talked about it. She never talked about it. And so when Bernie's new girlfriend entered the picture, they assumed that Bernie cheated on his wife, had an affair with his current girlfriend. And he just said, no, that's started dating about a few years after the divorce.
Damn.
So, yep. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy if we get big, and there's gonna be more scrutiny over our personal lives because that's just. I don't think I'd ever consider that. But I guess people just want to know everything about someone who has a public life.
Yeah, well, for perspective, people were running with a wild rumor that Tonka was a cripple and Vamp was a tranny, even though one of those was proven false and the other has never been proven one way or the other.
Yeah, I still haven't been able to find an Adam's apple.
Yeah, like let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Either I just don't believe it completely. Really, just because, and I'll admit it's completely gut, but I just don't buy it one bit.
Same.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, like I said, and I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, is Tonka even really that famous?
No, that's the crazy part.
Yeah, Tonka's not even really that famous, and they were running with a rumor that he was a cripple.
Vamp Candy's not even that famous, and they're saying that it's just a tranny.
Yeah, I know.
It's fuck.
Might have just. So yeah, just people won't believe crazy shit. Just don't. But I mean, like they just had the right
Yeah,
approach. They just had the right approach to it. They dealt with it by not dealing with it. Just
yep. And when Rooster Teeth was when that open letter from the former head of animation for Ruby did that whole open letter. They did the one thing that anyone should do. Don't talk about it.
yeah.
It'll eventually go away.
Yeah.
And basically the whole thing with that, it read like it was someone's an employee who was just disgruntled and got fired for being a douchebag.
Yeah. I mean, like that's just like that's how you deal with that shit, man. Don't.
Yep. So basically, I think our entire thing is if we get into some kind of controversy, we don't acknowledge it. We don't fight. I fight it. It's there are so many people who in Anime Gate who were just so obsessed over the idea of Rooster Teeth getting sued by Vic that they don't. The whole thing about a defamation lawsuit is that you have to defame someone, and firing him was not defaming him. Defaming him was what the voice actors did. Defaming was
All about the.
all kinds of insults.
Like, well, it's more about the only thing about the other thing he could have sued Rooster Teeth for is unlawful termination.
Yeah, I'm not.
I just guarantee Bernie was shrewd enough to make sure the contracts had a clause written in that would protect him against shit like this.
Yep, and kind of feel like that. The only way that Rooster Teeth was doing some kind of statement was putting out. I was doing this whole putting an ad out for for a new attorney, which got AnimeGate. AnimeGate thought that Rooster Teeth was going to get sued by Vic.
Yeah.
No, some studios. Every studio has a lawyer on hand.
Well,
Just like every hospital.
Of course, they would have a lawyer on retainer.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, like,
to anyone.
Yeah. I just have to imagine they write into their contracts that Rooster Teeth reserves the right to terminate a employment for whatever reason they see fit.
Such as if the employee does something that doesn't make them look good.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about them one bit, but yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if we get in our own controversy, well, yeah, that's just what we'll do. We'll deal with it by not dealing with it.
Yep. Only thing the stupidest thing to do is to make a statement about it, because that's not going to help at all.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take a look, see how long we've been going right now. Little over 100 minutes.
Yep. I don't think we're going to be doing a Kumite type length.
Yeah, we already did that this morning.
Yep. Commentate type blank would probably take us way too late.
Well, yeah. All right. Okay, so plus the thing we've kind of, I guess I can say is if anyone's still watching, well, nobody's watching right now. Just be on make sure you're on Wicked's channel tomorrow at night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Because that's when
There's
we'll be
always gonna be
launching the
Go on.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, there's always gonna be people who will come around to watch afterward
I know.
or listen.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know why.
All right, we're gonna. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna.
All right.